Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard Neal. This is Richard Leland Neal's channel, and I am going to discuss with you a computer. Specifically the computer I make these videos on. So, before I get into that, let me just remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets here from the company 4Ocean. And 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean for me. So, now I have complained about my computer a good deal on this channel. I have been making videos longer than I have owned this thing, and it has gone through two major upgrades throughout the time that I have owned it. And that's the thing, is first you've got to understand that I am a high output machine when I'm doing well. Okay? And by well, I mean health-wise. I suffer from persistent recurrent depression. And, you know, it's like I was working all yesterday on a blog, and I didn't get any videos done. No, I got one video done, but I had filmed it the day before. But my highest output day, video-wise, I believe is 40 videos. What I did there is I went to it's for my channel, Richard Reviews Children's Books. I went to the library, had 4 bags, 10 books in each bag. Then I had a 7-hour shift at work, and I had nothing to do. It was just, you know, you're watching a parking lot. So I read every one of those 40 books, and then I came home, and I made a video for every one of those 40 books. All right. So, and then of course, you pop the card out, stick it in the computer. It takes about, you know, for a full card, it might take 2 hours to transfer all the data. And then you start rendering. You know, you start chopping the videos up. And these were my first videos for that channel. So they were the simplest. They had singular layers. This video will probably have 2 layers. I could switch that to 3 layers. I could switch it to 20 layers if I wanted to, but the more layers, the more stress it puts on my computer, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I mean, one of the things that I have here right at my feet, in fact, is a laundry basket full of children's books, primary books. Each one will take me about 5 minutes to read on average. I will sit at my computer, read 4 of them, come in here, make a video, go back. You know, that's how that process works when I'm feeling good enough. And then, like the book haul videos, what I have is one of these boxes. Okay, it's 5 books per video, and I will sit there and I will fill this box. So sometimes I will get, you know, 20 books in here. Depends on the size of the books, obviously, but I will fill this box, and I have 4 of them. And then I will line up the 4 boxes with all the books I've book hauled, and then I'll take that into the next room, and I'll start, you know, doing the output for it. So yeah, that could be you know, 16 videos in one day. If that's what I'm doing that day, that's what I'm doing. And, you know, again, a lot of the videos I do, like the review videos, you know, it's like it takes 5 minutes, okay. So on a hot day, every time I get thirsty, I'm going to do another beverage. Because beverages are easy, and that's just my output. So yeah, this is a high output channel, a high output person. Now I have a friend who has a Mac. And his Mac is 10 years old. And he is doing 4K video. But his 4K video, it takes him several hours to render a video. My output quality is much smaller than that. And it takes between 5 and 15 minutes for me to do a video, depending on what I'm rendering, depending on how complicated it is, and how often I've cleaned my computer. That's very important, is that you need to clean away any digital programs like trackers and cookies and all that. And I have 3 programs that I use. I've got a specific disk cleaner. I've got an anti-malware program, and then I've got a virus scan. And I use all three of those, and then the computer's clean, and then I work, through it. So yeah, high output, lower quality videos. But here's the thing. When I first got my computer, it had an overpowered power supply. I think it had a 600, and it's sporting an 8 now. But the 600 was way more power than it needed, because we're talking about back in the day when I think it's a 550 graphics card. Real, they don't make them anymore. They haven't made them for years. But so this is a little 550 and it's doing its job. But then suddenly, the computer started having what I call digital fire. It's a digital artifact where you'll see like pixelation around my head that kind of looks like fire. Okay, so that became a problem, and I lived with it until the computer started having trouble turning on. And we found out that the problem was that doing all that rendering puts a lot of stress on the power supply. So you can't just have a power supply for your computer that is more powerful than you need. You need some vastly more powerful, because over time they wear down, and when they wear down you have a lesser product coming out, and that lesser product eventually leads to dropping jobs. And it's just that was the thing, is it would drop jobs, it would overheat, and it would have all kinds of problems. So I changed out the power supply, and that really helped. I got a much better rating on the power supply, and it added a lot more power. But it was taking longer and longer to do the job, and it was still dropping videos. So what I did is, instead of replacing the graphics card, I got a second graphics card. Okay. And so they're two identical graphics cards. I had to go on eBay, and it turns out that what happened was that the store that had this card flooded. Their fire system broke, and the card didn't get wet, but for legal reasons they had to sell it as second inventory. So I got this card that's an identical of my card, and they're didn't make them anymore. And I put it in, and there you had it. And there's a little wire that goes between them, a little piece of strip cording. So you got these cards that work together. And this doesn't make it any faster, but it makes it more reliable. So it won't drop jobs, it won't overheat. But this computer, it needs two graphics cards. Doesn't matter how powerful your graphics card is, a more powerful graphics card will make it faster, but the dual graphics card gives it the stability it needs to do the kind of output. And then, of course, there's that question, would I want to go to 40K or 4K, which is a higher video output. So this is the reason why you've heard me complain so much about, oh, what if my computer went out? Because it's a big upgrade, and it's not like it's going to happen in a day either. It's like it would take 3 days for me to get the computer at best, and then it would take another 3 days for me to set everything up. And then after that, but I've got 4 computers that I use regularly. I've got the computer that renders, and right next to it I've got my laptop that mostly what it does is it watches my videos for quality reasons, quality assurance. And then behind me is a second desk where I have 2 laptops set up with 3 screens, and that's my reading desk. So if I read and I find a quote I like for Richard's Daily Quote, I write it in there, and other things of that nature. And that's where I do my drafting, which I haven't done in way too long, and all of those sorts of things. So it's like, yeah, this is why, for a lot of reasons, it's best for me to keep working on the computer I have until it breaks. And it's broken twice, and it's gotten fixed twice. And yeah, it's 9 years old and we don't know. And if I were making money on this channel, if I were making money on YouTube in general, and it were my livelihood, I would absolutely need to have 2 editing bays because, it's it went down. Well, now you're not making any money, and every day you're not putting out a video, you're not making money. Now, I could take the attitude that every day I don't put out a video, I'm not building towards making money. But the bottom line truth is, it's an advertising thing. You need to pay for a lot of advertising. If I sank $1,000 into advertising, maybe I'd get monetized, or maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. But there's a number there. It's calculable that almost anyone who is not putting out offensive content can get monetized for about 10 grand. That number may have gone up, but it's not the way I want to go. So, yeah, when I talk about my computer troubles, that's why it scares the heck out of me that my computer might go down. Because if something really goes down, they are not easy to replace. Not in terms of money or just the logistics. Okay, my camera stopped filming. So it's a good time to start talking about cameras as well. This particular camera is a DSLR. It is considered a hobbyist camera by Canon, the manufacturer. And yes, a replacement of the exact same camera, I think, is $300. If you can find one, they don't make them anymore. Old technology. They stop filming every 11 minutes or so because that's the largest file it can hold on to. Beyond that, there are some technical problems. So that's one of those things. Now, something that Kyle, a good friend of me and my channel, did bring up is maybe I should try things from different angles. Which is fine if you're using the right kind of equipment, but it's like, look, for what I do, static views are just fine, and what you really need the multiple cameras for is like the workout videos. Like, yeah, okay, I'm working on my gym in the garage, and I've got to put down flooring and do all this stuff. And yeah, if I'm showing you a certain kind of a workout, showing it to you from multiple angles is probably a good idea. Alright? But for what I'm doing here, it's fine. It's just, there's the thing. So yeah, I suffer from depression. I have a dismal outlook on life. And I look at my equipment and I think, yeah, this camera is 12 years old? And they only last so long. So, I don't know. It may conk out. And when it conks out, I know I can go to the computer, I will order a $1,000 camera. And I won't think much about ordering a $1,000 camera unless then my computer conks out and then I'm not having a good day because that's a lot of money. But yeah, it's one of the things that happened is that Kyle so generously offered to buy me a computer. And it's like, okay, yeah, but yeah, so long as the one I'm having works, that's just, next year the computer will be cheaper for the same amount of power. So why not wait till next year if this one's still working? I have something that will do the job. It may be iffy now, it may be older now, but unfortunately my best option remains to keep using it. I'm not making a living here, so it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, so that's the story of my computer and a little bit about my camera. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm Richard.